Hey, how you doing? Good to see you on here. How many people are on? Say hi to me and say hi to Daniel. Hey, Daniel, I've uploaded. Yeah, please hit the like button if you're just joining. I'm going to be here for about half an hour. I'll try to make it half an hour. I have other things to do, but I want to jump in here. Just had my lunch break. Just had lunch. So there with my solo cup there. Yeah, so let's see how many of you are coming. I know that my my what we call it is not really doing the best for me as we speak. So my videos are not getting out as they used to, but that's not okay. But it's okay. We'll survive this. It's almost like a cooling off period, right? So thank God for all of the growth in the last year. But what's happening now is it's not cool. But other people have gone through it, and I'll go through it myself. So how you doing, Daniel? Everything good? Are you in Brazil now, or you're still in the US of A? So there's my topic there. Beware the fraud and scam. All right, beware the fraud and scam. And we're going to look at some information from the internet. There is something from Swift here. Let me just go on there and we can talk. It's public domain, so I can share it here. So it says Swift to add blockchain-based ledger. Payments, 29 September 2025. So I was just looking at this. At Swift, our mission has always been to continually innovate and elevate the cross-border payments experience. Today, we are taking a pivotal step forward, adding a blockchain-based shared ledger to our technology infrastructure. Swift to add blockchain-based ledger. All right. So that's their CEO there, and his name is Javier Pere Tasso. He says Swift is noting that the addition may be surprising to some. Well, surprised because they were agnostic about blockchain, right? Technology. You may think, wow, aren't these opposites, Swift and blockchain, TradFi and DeFi? Can they really go together? Remember, I've been screaming DeFi, DeFi, DeFi. In the regulated system of the future, we believe they can. Banks are ready for it, and they're asking us to play a bigger role. Did you hear that? That's from the Swift CEO himself. He says the banks are asking them to play a bigger role. So what? Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Just accept all cookies here. That will make it brighter. Okay, so banks are asking them to asking them to play a bigger role because they have 11,000 banks in their network. They're expensive. They're slow. They're not environment friendly. It's an old 50-year-old system. There's been upgrades, but it's old. There's so much you can patch an old cloth as much as you like. It's old. Swift, together with a group of over 30 global financial institutions, has begun designing and developing a shared digital ledger with the first use case focused on real-time 24/7 cross-border payments. So when you see this, you're going to go, oh, what are we doing buying XRP and all these ISO coins? So somebody asked a question, and I posted it in my YouTube post. He said, why does CoinMarketCap have a section for top ISO 222 tokens if that was not important? It says this too shall pass. Of course, I know. So let's continue with the Swift thing we're reading. So Swift is announcing, this was in September, right, of this year. I go back and show you. This was September 29 of 2025. That's just 2 months ago, right? Not even up to something like 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. Okay, so almost 8 weeks ago. So look at what it says here. Combining a shared ledger with Swift's existing messaging APIs and ISO 222 creates an even more powerful construct, one that can embed risk controls and compliance requirements from the outset into transaction flows while enabling real-time 24/7 interbank cross-border payments with the same trust, security, resilience, Scalability and operational excellence Swift is known for. Well, you are excellent at what you've done because you really didn't have that much competition, right? So how can we measure excellence? So it's all in line with the approach we've always taken of responsible innovation. Okay, said Peretazo. Extending the power of Swift's infrastructure. So the ledger will complement recent enhancements to existing rails and new interoperability. Once you see interoperability there, you know there's something else. They are not telling you what they don't want you to know. They are telling you what they want you to see and hear, but the reality is Ripple is buried in the new infrastructure. And that's what I show on my Patreon with undisputable proof. Speaking as CBOs, Javier Peretazo said, financial infrastructures need to keep relentless focus on the fundamentals of operational excellence, regulatory compliance, and governance. And at the same time, they need to get ready for the future. And as Swift, our approach is to innovate across two parallel tracks. Oh my God. Collaboration across the industry. Financial institutions from 16 countries are already shaping design of the ledger. Okay. Including collaborating with Swift to define functionality, governance, and future phases of the development. Here's the reality, okay? All of these companies you see here, they've lifted ABSA, Agbank, ANZ, Banco Santander, Bank of America. If you watch videos from the past that I've put together and videos that other people have, content creators have done, or some of these have been mentioned as partners to Ripple, having tested, in their groups, their different groups across the world, HSBC, all of them, they are ready for crypto. Let me now show you this that really, really interests me. Share this. Let me share this tab. Okay. Coin market cap. Top ISO 222 tokens by market capitalization. Why does Coin market cap have a top ISO 222 token classification, or should I say category? What are they doing it there? So we have number 4 as XRP. Well, this number 4 actually is XRP's number in the entire crypto, top cryptos, all right, from number 1 to whatever thousand. So Stellar, which is number 16 on the crypto scale, whatever, is there. Then there's Hedera, then there's Algorand, then there's XDC. Remember, these number 53, 20, 16, 4 are all the numbers based on their market cap. Okay, so you look at XDC with a market cap of a little over $1 billion, and look at Quant, look at IOTA. Quant is one of the ones that I believe is really going for, all of them are on sale right now. Quant is cheap. I remember Quant at $20, but look at it today. And if you really click on this and go take a look at Quant, you see that it has a maximum supply of 14 million and a circulating supply of 12 million. That's less than Bitcoin, which is 21 million and 19 million circulating. So that's a good, it's going to, I think Quant has potential of getting to 25,000, 100,000, even sooner than some of the other cryptos. So buying 20 Quant is not, and it wouldn't be a waste of time, because 20 times 25,000, where would that take you? Now, I don't know timing, but I just believe it's going to be massive, earlier than some others. So IOTA here, what's the supply for IOTA? We've got 4 billion circulating, and the total supply is 4.6 billion. All right. So that, and look at the price. And if we look at the all-time high, we're looking at $4, and today it's at 12 cents. So not bad. Not bad. The prices are doing it. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was that on CoinMarketCap, they say top ISO tokens. And then you get all the technical people coming in and telling you, oh, there's no, oh, thank you so much, Daniel, for the gift. I appreciate it. Telling you that, oh, there's nothing like ISO tokens. Oh, it's not, there's nothing like ISO. Like one of the big, I'm not going to mention names, some of the big guys, and one of them recently said, well, there's nothing like ISO tokens. There's nothing. You know what I believe? There's some channels that they've been around for like 6-7 years, and they've grown. They have 100,000 subscribers. They've never really taken time to study the fundamentals of these ISOs. They're fine. They're making money in DeFi with Axela, with Aave, with so many other platforms that were existing even before this time that we're in. So for them, they don't really care. They just say, oh, look, this isn't this isn't that. And the truth of the matter is, the information that we're getting is changing. You see, crypto is like a moving target, and fast moving target for that matter. So it's important for us to see what's changing, what's being adopted, what is true and what is false. CoinMarketCap wouldn't have an ISO 222 category if it didn't exist. And they call them tokens on there. These are people who are in the market every day. That's where a lot of people, beside DEX tools and all of these DEX screener, this is what most people go to check for pricing, for 24-hour movement, for all-time high, and all of that information, even the markets where to buy and stuff. In fact, you can have an account on there, and you can enter your crypto that you are holding and watch it and track it even from CoinMarketCap. That's how well they have built their system. And then somebody says, oh, there's nothing like ISO 222. Oh, November 22 has come and nothing has happened. Well, what did you expect? A lot of people expected an explosion in price. I, at one time, earlier on, when I first started, I thought, oh, it was going to be that way. But I began to realize how progress happens one step at a time, 1 inch at a time, 1 foot at a time, 1 mile at a time, towards a greater purpose, a greater glory. And that's exactly what we're seeing. You can't have, the pipe doesn't fill up at once. Once this is set in motion after November 22, we're going to see an explosion at some point in time. Thank you so much. Okay. You know, so, right, I mean, but we've got 22 people here. If the 22 people like it and you comment and you share it on YouTube or on your social media page, what happens is we can defeat the algorithm that way. That's why Crypto Night and I are going to do more of, we'll team up and do things, because a lot of us have been suppressed and shadow banned. But the good news is people are able to get the information. People need to just stay focused and hold their assets. That's what I would say. See, a lot of our OGs are not on here because they're not seeing the notification. They don't know I'm on. They don't know I'm live. There's at least 100 people who should be on right now. So, but they don't know I'm on. So what I'm going to do before I go on live, I'm going to probably just set a time and say I'll be live at this time. Then I'll send a message to everyone who is on my email list and all of that. That's probably what I'll do. I think it's very, very helpful. And I'll also say anything I post on here, maybe I should also post it on Patreon as well as time goes on. But the real thing is that the crowd is on YouTube. And if the algorithm doesn't favor you, it can be tough, right? So like the video as you come in, as well as share it, and it'll be good. Hello, Egyptian, how you doing? God bless you. So what I've been talking about is just that, there's a lot of FUD, it's coming, and there's a lot of scammers. That of scammers, Crypto Night sent me something today. Someone asking for something and they put a QR code. It's crazy. And even day before yesterday, we talked about a woman who was scammed of a lot of money. Yeah, most of my subscribers are not getting notification. Hi, Crypto Mom, how you doing? They're not getting notifications because there is suppression, because they don't want people. There's an attack against you who live in North America. Nobody wants you to see this and get this information. But I'm here telling you that it's all out there and you need to have it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, and we will win. No matter, people are not getting notifications. What are you going to do? You can't. YouTube is a giant. You go and say, oh, YouTube, can you help me? I'm not getting. I'm gonna write them a complaint and say what's going on. My subscribers are not getting notifications, and that's a problem. That's a problem. So we're stuck at a certain level. I still get videos I still get 1,000 views on my videos, but it takes 2 to 3 days to get it, when I used to get it in 5 hours in the past. All right, so, and there's you try to do different things, it doesn't seem to work, right? And you wonder what's going on. It's a suppression. But I'm not going to complain about that. I'm just going to, make a comment, ask me questions. Let's get the juices flowing. There's I have 15 minutes and I have to get off of here, but ask me any question you have. But I just want you, how many of you are still hodling or holding? How many of you are still holding your ISOs? Don't get rid of them. Don't let them shake you out. Hold on, because I've told you before, one XRP is worth $1,600. One XRP is worth $1,632 and $35.32. That's the minimum. But right now, it's going to get to 15 and 27 and 30 and $100. But one day, and not far from now, this is not something that will happen in the next 150 years. No, it's going to happen now. And I also want to say, for those of you who have bought into meme coins, we're all different. Don't give up your position, particularly if you're in Crepe. Crepe is going to do a big move that will shock everybody, as well as if you're in a WikiCat. These things are going to come back bouncing and shock everybody. Listen, you've got to look at three things. Three things are important. Three things are important, okay? What did you say? 2K is about $110? No, you meant to say $1,100. Hey, Luis Concepcion. Yes, Concepcion. So we just have to keep on holding. We are not going to let 2K XDCs. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what you meant to say. Yes. So it's like a no-brainer. XDC gets to $5 and you have 2,000 XDC. That's $10,000. And how much did you spend? $110. I have bills to pay, taxes and all of that. Otherwise, I would have just put some money into a hefty bag of a good bag of XDC. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, again, here's my thing. You can hold only 3. But if you're somebody that you have some money you've put in, you can also put $500 into Crepe or into WikiCat. I still believe in that, because the Lord told me that some people, that's how they're going to rise, because they don't have enough holding. If you don't have, anything from 10,000 XRP and up, I think that's not a small bag. In my opinion, that's a very good bag, because at 1,600 XRP, you're already talking 16 million. But I need you to understand that a time is coming where $1 million is not going to do anything. Yeah, it's like when houses are going for 750, 800 average. I'm not talking about the 3-bedroom bungalow in the city going for 800,000 very soon. Like $1 million is nothing. So, and you want to have, if you're here, if you have been called into this wealth transfer, the Lord is not trying to give you peanuts. He's trying to give you something that is generational, but at the same time that he believes, he trusts you, that you're going to use it to establish his counsel, his glory, his kingdom. Hal says, I'm still holding. The only one I don't have is IOTA. I like you. I like your faith, man. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't even have IOTA. I don't have Corium. I don't have, I'm focused on a certain few. But here's the thing. Whether you buy all of them or you focus on, a certain few, we are still going to be okay. Who can afford what? Who can afford what we were saying? Yeah, Kryptonite and I will do more combined lives, because we find out that we get more eyes looking and we're able to talk about stuff. Yeah, amen, for his glory. That's right. So people have to understand, if you look at what has happened in the world after the Second World War, coming down all the way into this, the 2020 year 2000 and on, we've had a group of world leaders who have grown up under a tutelage, under the doctrine of demons, so that the universities are now training people with an ideology that is anti-human. I'm telling you. So you see people, propounding all kinds of theories. There's this artificial scarcity that's been created by the doctrine of climate change and lack. And I'm not saying there are no problems with the climate and environment, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of untruths that are going on. And the more Satan takes place in education, in science, in government policies, of course, all of these things into government, it starts with education. Because when they are propounding theories that are not true, they pass them, students from elementary, high school to university are taught lies. Those lies are now passed on into legislation. Because if you are taught what is not true, and then you get to your degree in sociology and another degree and a master's, you become well educated and you have a political appointment, you will be driving that ideology because that's what you believe. So you've got a lot of people who have been brainwashed with something that is not true, and they take things that are simple. Like, for example, what is the solution to more water on the planet? I'll tell you what the solution is to more water for this ideology. It's reduce the amount of water you use so that we can have enough for everybody. It sounds noble. It sounds good. It sounds true. Meanwhile, there could be other technologies that could help preserve water, the use of water, and even produce more water, but they won't touch it because they want that ideology to reign. And so they don't want more wealthy people. Because if I'm wealthy, Daniel is wealthy, and I'm not talking about wealthy in the sense of 1, 2, 3, 4 million. That's wealth. But I'm talking of decamillionaires, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires in the kingdom. It is needed. People like Hal, people like Egyptian, they are needed. God wants them in the kingdom to have that wealth, because as the battle rages, you're not going to fight your battles only with prayer and speaking in tongues. The prayer creates the spiritual path open, and then you have to carry your sword, financial sword, your educational sword, your knowledge sword, your persona. All of these are weapons that God gives to you. David was anointed, but he was not anointed to just remain anointed. He was anointed, he was announced, he was appointed, he became king. And as king, he had authority to do certain things. Please like the video. I am seriously shadow banned, but it's okay because you guys would help me get out there. Yes, Kryptonite. I was just telling them that we're going to do more lives. Enough. Enough of all this rubbish. Enough of all these things that are going on. Right? Enough, because we cannot continue to be pulverized, and we are not having a way out. There is a way out, and one of the ways is prayer. The other way is doing something about it. That's why we did the joint live, myself and Kryptonite, because when we do that, there's more people watching from his channel, more people watching from my channel, and that type of thing. So people become more aware of what's going on. He received a scam call. I've not even told you guys I have a scam email. Last week, I got 3 Coinbase scam notifications. 3. The first one, I made junk. The second one, junk. But the third one, I was almost calling the number to say, maybe it's real. But because I know in my depth of heart that Coinbase will not contact me that way, I knew it was false. So these are the kinds of things that are happening, and people are, people are paranoid when they see all that. Have they found my account? Do they know what I am? Do they know what I'm doing? Do they know how much I have? So I've never received a scam email like that, or with respect to Coinbase or Ledger or anything. But my wife got Ledger scams. She got emails from, it looked like Ledger was the one contacting her. They perfectly made, perfectly made, letterheaded documents, but it's all a lie. And they'll give you a 1-800 number, and people are calling. And Kryptonite shared with me someone who was scammed, and we're going to get on that in the evening because we plan to do a live together tonight. And I think the best thing is to announce the live beforehand so that people know we're live. People know we're live. But the shadow banning is crazy. And it's not allowing us to put out the word out there. Let me get a sip of water. Exactly. I'm glad you are helping your mom with her investments, Daniel. That's very smart. Thank you so much again for your kind gift. Appreciate it. You exactly. So back to the list. What I was sharing earlier on. Let's do that again. So when Swift is talking about adding a blockchain, see, some people see this Swift to add blockchain-based ledger. Some people see this and they go, "Oh my God, Swift is not using XRP." Oh, and then go to my Patreon, AH for Truth. You will find absolute proof 100% proof. Okay, so look at all the institutions that they are dealing with from 16 countries, including Royal Bank of Canada. Come on there, come on now. TD Bank Group, these are all in Canada. Woo. Look at that. So these are all Ripple partners. Go check. Are they Ripple partners? Yes, they are. Why? Because Ripple has gone around the shop, met with all of them, invited them to meetings, invited them to Ripple Swell and all of those things. And they have given them what? A banking ID. You see what I mean? They've given them a banking ID. So they all have a banking ID. Yeah, but when you click on that link right now to go on there, what it shows you is this. Look at it. It's this. Oh, snap. It's a 404 not found. Ripple. Let's go home. So they take you back to their website. Welcome to Ripple Docs, gateway to technical documentation for Ripple solutions. Well, I used to be on this website all the time to find information, but now you can't find the banking IDs. You can't. Why is that? Why is that? The shared ledger is XRPL. Don't get me banned, but I think that's it. I'm not going to be banned in Jesus' name. So the shared ledger is that. That's what I didn't want to say. But it's in the comment. Read it. Combining a shared ledger. They're not telling you what it is. They have to, if the banks are sharing a ledger, whose ledger will they share? The one by Bank of America? The one by whatever? No. Why should I share yours when I can have one that's neutral? And it has to be by a company that has a face. So you know who to sue. You know who to arrest. And it has to be a proven technology that's been tried and tested. Where they've given $90 million to MoneyGram to test their stuff globally. And when the testing period was over, Ripple said, okay, we've tested enough. Now we can go and tell the world and tell all the banks. So when they go to Bank A, they say, look, what we did. When they go to Bank B, they say, we tested with MoneyGram. Oh, by the way, we go to C and D and E. All of the banks they talk to in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in South America, North America, they have proof that they've been testing their product. That's what they did. And they issued. Why would you issue if you're not going to have a status as a chartered central bank of sorts? Remember, this is a new arena. I'm telling you, I'm wagering that Ripple will be like the Federal Reserve. Maybe they'll coexist for a while, and then one will give way to the other, which I don't know how it'll happen, but I can tell you, the more I look at this thing critically, from all the research and the direction they're going, people like, okay, if Ripple is going to be a bank, why aren't they, like they could just apply for a state license and be a bank in Nevada or somewhere? No. They've got to be a chartered national bank. It's a central bank of sorts. Now, I could be wrong in my assessment, but I have to think. We're all thinkers. And as we think and think our way forward, hopefully, based on the information and the facts that we're seeing on ground, we're arriving somewhere. As we speak, Thunes connected Ripple to Swift's 11,000 banks, right, in September of this year. Of this year. That was when it happened. This is the news here. Actually, let me see. Let me see the best one. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do the one from Times Tabloid. Okay. Let's do that. And some people still go and say, "Oh yeah, but How are you sure? These people are just talking. They don't really know what they're talking about. Okay, let me show you. Here we go. This Ripple partner connects XRP to Swift's network of 11,000 banks. So there you go. So who are they? Thunes has announced major expansion of its services by offering pay to banks through existing Swift connectivity, enabling what? 11,000 banks. When did they do this? This was published October 1, 2025. And when did it happen? It's told you that. Thunes connects Ripple to Swift. So there you go. And even on their own Thunes' own website, Thunes itself tells you that. See, I'm getting all kinds of scam calls now. It's unreal. It's unreal. But that's the reality of being in this space. Okay. Thunes and Ripple expand global partnership to transform cross-border payments. This was on September 2, right after they did it. San Francisco and Singapore. Thunes, the smart superhighway to move money around the world, and Ripple, the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, have announced an expanding partnership to transform cross-border payments globally. Building on their successful collaboration established in 2020, the partnership will improve the customer payout experience, further streamline global money movement, and broaden payout reach across key markets. There you go. So this is the president of Thunes, Chloe Maynobe, or whatever, Maynobe. And here's Fiona Murray, Managing Director, Asia Pacific at Ripple. Oh my God! Look at the contact, Lucy Drinkwater. If you want to, if you want to call Lucy Drinkwater. So about Thunes, about Ripple, and so Thunes facilitated 11,000 banks connected. We're now, this is just a waiting game, friends. It's no longer about facts. The facts are there, leading to the truth. So that's it. Yeah. So just help me make comments on my posts. I'm definitely shadow banned, limited, not getting as many views as I was. I thank God. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know what's happening. If you're not getting notifications, it's not my fault. Just turn it on and off. Maybe I don't know what you need to do. So somebody said I should put my videos on for 24 hours, put it in private before I let it go. I don't know. But if you go on my Patreon, I am putting tutorials there for those of you who want to get into DeFi. There are tutorials there for you, and then there's other public ones like this. But when information is shared like this, we really get hit by bots. Unbelievable. 100 bots. You have to clean them up each time. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Yes, I've gotten scam calls. So many of them. So many of them. Yes. So anyway, I just wanted to come on live today, tell you guys what's really going on. This is the reality. And check out my Patreon page. I have put on there, absolute proof. Absolute proof. Ignore the FUD. Ignore those mocking November 22 ISO date. Nothing happened. The price is still. Ignore all of that stuff. If you have extra funds for Christmas, give yourself a Christmas gift by loading up some bags of the ISOs and the meme coins I've told you about. There are others. If you did meme coinology, there's 22 meme coins. Look through the list and select the ones you want to put a little bit of money into. $500 into meme coin can deliver you a $500,000. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you what I believe the Lord has shown me. And the reason is to deflect. Think about it. 50,000% times $500 is 250,000. 50,000%, right? Times $1,000 is 500,000. And we can see that anytime from December to January. It's not greed. It's not, it's just opportunity. So while you have good bags of the ISOs, there's an opportunity. Non-ISO cryptos, some of them are going to do amazing. I was looking at Filecoin the other day, and I just bought a new coin that the Lord placed on my heart, and I'm still researching it. I believe I heard from God, but I have to tell people after I have researched it sufficiently. I think He's giving us time, because once I bought it, it dipped. So I'm happy that it's not that it started flying up. It dipped by about 10-14%, which I'm comfortable, because I heard what, in a night vision, what to do. Now, I believe that it has great potential, but not everybody's called to do that. Some people want to put all their money into XRP. My concern is, when you put all your money into XRP, if it doesn't move as quickly as you're expecting it to move, and it does, this is how they're going to get people to sell. So it's nice to be able to earn something substantial from moves that will go ahead of the ISOs. That's the reality. And if it happens inversely, what's the difference? You're just making sure that you have not put all your eggs in one basket. Now, these eggs in the ISO basket, they are not breaking. That basket is concrete. They're not going anywhere. But it's a train that is moving fast, but it's where it's going is far. So sometimes, because somebody called it a distant harvest, as it's going, you may not, for you to get the $1,000, there's a certain $1 trillion volume that needs to come into. You need about 90 trillion to move across the ledger. And remember, there are other participating blockchains in this entire ecosystem of the ISO 222s. Because you've got Algo with the real estate, you've got IOTA machine to machine, you've got, so they've shared the work. Anyway, that's all I want to do. God bless you all. I said it was half an hour, but now it's almost 40 minutes. But I'm glad to have been on here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me on this live. I'm probably going to be on tonight in a joint live with Kryptonite, talking about scams. But let's see how that would work later on. God bless you.